Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to Sports Today. We bring you this video segment every single morning to help you catch up with things that have been taking place in the world of sport, while you may have missed out on because you were catching up on some all-important sleep. Because let's face it, well, you and I need sleep, the whole world needs sleep. The world of sport doesn't really sleep. There's always something or the other going on, and it can be a little tough to keep abreast of every single little development, but worry not, that's what we're here for. And let's start off with a man who's, let's say, an interview that he's been doing has been making the rounds a lot. I'm talking, of course, about Ishan Kishan. Now, Ishan Kishan is someone who is almost persona non grata with the Indian cricket team nowadays, after both him and Shreyas Iyer were dropped from their central contracts due to what was believed to be a non-prioritization of domestic cricket and too much of focus on the IPL. Now, Ishan Kishan has come out and actually revealed why it is that he chose to skip domestic cricket, because remember, it was a simple case of all he had to do was play some domestic cricket to get himself back in contention for a spot in the Indian team again. Yet Kishan chose not to play any domestic cricket. Now, in the interview with Indian Express, he revealed very clearly that, listen, I was already taking a break because mentally I wasn't feeling right. Now, if I have to take a break from international cricket, then go and play domestic cricket, then I may as well just play international cricket. It is a valid thing, and truth be told, it's not quite on us to be able to judge when exactly it is a player is feeling, mentally burnt out. By his own admission, he's saying that being on the road so often, not getting a chance to play at all, does really mess with you because you feel like what it is that you've done wrong, what more is it that I can do? And Kishan was unfortunately one of those players who tended to only be used to plug a hole as and when necessary. So it's easy to understand why exactly he felt the way he did. But switching focus, players who are now part of the team, and we've heard, of course, we know that Shubman Gill is leading the Zimbabwe side, the India side that is touring Zimbabwe right now for a 5-match T20I series. They lost the first match, came back nicely in the second, and Gill simply said that it was only a case of the younger players actually getting acclimatized to and being able to understand the pressure of international cricket that helped them win the second game. He said in the first game, they were getting kind of used to it. In the second, they managed to cotton on and learn quickly, and therefore were able to be victorious in a sense, praising the side for being able to turn things around so quickly after what was a crushing loss in the first game. And speaking of Shubman Gill, he also had a small part to play in Abhishek Sharma's scintillating 100 that the young opener ended up getting in this particular match, the second T20I. What is the role? Well, Abhishek revealed after the game that he had actually borrowed one of Shubman Gill's bats. So the bat that you see him holding here is actually Gill's bat that he used in order to absolutely plunder the Zimbabwe bowling attack. And he said that, I ended up just borrowing one because one of mine wasn't quite feeling right. So he took one of Gill's bats and also revealed something else that was pretty interesting. He said that, if I can get a boundary early on in my innings, then my confidence is sky high, then I believe that I can do anything. So that, I guess, is the key for Abhishek Sharma. Get an early boundary and, well, things are sorted. In fact, yesterday he got off the mark with a boundary. So maybe that's the way for him to go. Get that big shot out early on and then continue with the same approach. Switching focus now from the world of cricket to the world of football, and Bayern Munich have confirmed the signing of French under-23 winger Michael Olise, who, if you remember, was playing for Crystal Palace, last season, and is someone who was a top target for many English clubs, including the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, even Manchester United. All of them, though, have been left behind as Olise has pledged to play for Bayern Munich. He signed a 5-year deal with the side, and it's easy to understand why. Bayern Munich are one of those sides always competing in Europe, always competing for top honours both domestically as well as continentally. It kind of makes sense to be joining Bayern Munich, especially in an era that is basically a rebuild for the German Giants. More football news, and Thiago Alcantara, someone who a lot of people would remember for his spells at, of course, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and later on Liverpool. He is considering retirement at 33 years of age. You remember, he left Liverpool at the end of this season because his contract expired. No new club for him has been announced yet. He hasn't joined anywhere. And it's being said that at 33 years of age, he's considering calling it quits. But he's not done with the sport. He will, in fact, be studying for his coaching badges and could very well be becoming a manager. Now, given the kind of technically proficient midfielder he was, I'd say he'd make a very good coach, but that's just how I feel. You guys can let me know if you feel any different back down in the comments. Switching focus now, the world of tennis, and we're getting closer to finding out who exactly the next Wimbledon champion will be. That is because Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, two men who are considered to be among the favourites, have now qualified for the quarterfinals. Sinner will be taking on Daniil Medvedev in a rematch from the Australian Open final, which incidentally was Sinner's first Grand Slam win. Whereas Carlos Alcaraz will be taking on the American Tommy Paul. So this is going to be an interesting clash really in the quarters, and both Sinner and Alcaraz are being seen as the two major favourites to go the entire distance. But speaking of people seen as favourites to go the distance, world number 2 Coco Gauff has suffered a shock elimination from Wimbledon. She ended up losing out to a compatriot of hers who's ranked 19th in the world in Navarro. And what's unfortunate is that many saw that Coco Gauff, someone who for years has been showing plenty of promise, would potentially be getting her breakthrough moment in Wimbledon. Not meant to be. And right now the women's draw is looking rather thin. Only 2 members who are ranked within the top 10 of the WTA rankings continue to be in contention for the title. Bit of interesting news from an Indian perspective. Avinash Sable, the steeplechase runner, ended up breaking his own national record during the Paris Diamond League steeplechase event, where he ended up only finishing 6th, but ended up bettering his own national record in the process. Definitely an interesting time to be hitting the kind of form that he is hitting, given that the Paris Olympics aren't really that far away. But that's it from us in this edition of the Morning Wrap with Sports Today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, if you enjoy our work, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTech app, and if you're already on the channel, check out some other things we've uploaded since yesterday, and stay tuned. We've got plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.